The recording, all the recordings everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Give it 2 seconds and then do it.
Okay. Wait, now?
Okay, two seconds and then do it.
Can I get a what?
No, you can't get a what. This is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 420 for April 5th, 2018. Shaved and tapered. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that advises you should never smoke pot, no matter how many numbers go together that form a 420. We are here to bring you the weirdest and best and greatest of odd news and strange stuff that you've never heard. We're here to fill your ear holes with magic. It's like taking a rainbow and just sticking it between your ears and just flossing your brain with it, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until your brain is clean and full of spriteful joy that you can just explode onto everybody. This is starting to sound really gross.
Wow.
Hi. This is really gross. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful, the cat-eared, smashly... Oh, man, let's rock into some news and all that good stuff. How are you doing, Smash?
I'm like so good. I'm in a good mood and good things are happening and I have boundless amounts of energy, so I will probably die.
Oh, you're going to die, and I have a small toddler that wandered in the room to say goodnight. Can you say goodnight, Sam?
Good night. Good night, Sam. I love you.
We're doing a podcast, buddy.
Oh my God, he's so cute. I want to squish his
Good.
face.
Say goodnight to everybody in podcast land.
Good night and podcast land.
You're the best. I love you, sweetheart. Go back to mama. Night night.
Bye,
I love
Mimi,
my son so
you.
much. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the wonderful. He almost made it before we started the show. Almost.
Oh my God, he's so cute. He's so
my
cute.
favorite
I want to
person.
squish his little face.
Boy, do we have a jam-packed, exciting show for you guys tonight. We have some news. Jacob has assured me that as the producer, he has grabbed stories that are going to delight the masses. And we're also joined by Superior Author Supreme. Can you be a Superior Supreme thing? I think you can.
I think that is her new title.
Yeah, Superior Author Supreme Meg Halfdahl will be joining this show around 9 o'clock to discuss her new book, Her Dark Inheritance. It is a horror book.
Dun, dun.
It is, yes, and it is dark, according to the title, and it shall be a good conversation, because we really love talking to authors and creative types, so we're excited to have her on.
It's like mystery horror, which is the best kind of horror. Like, it's not just like scary for the sake of being scary. Like, the whole time you're just like, I would like to figure this shit out, please. Crap, I cursed.
You know what my favorite thing about horror books is? That no one in America separates the final syllable from the trunk of the word, so it just comes out whore.
Horror?
It's a horror mystery.
That's because our R's are so hard. That sentence can bite my ass.
What do you say if you're British? Do you use erotic in the middle of, not erotic, you gross people. Like when you use a hard R, it's referred to as erotic. So is it like horror? Is it horror? Like how do is anybody out there British?
That's so cockney. It hurts.
I know, it's stupid. I can't do a British accent, but I'm going to try next week on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, or on D20 eastbound and D20 and down or whatever, and it's going to be great, and you guys are going to love it.
I feel like I'm doing ASMR because I like accidentally splooged on the microphone and there's water on it, and now I'm just like petting it, and I'm just like, biscuits.
I feel like accidentally splooging on the microphone is something that happens in different industries than this one. It's like it's something that happens in the oh baby oh microphone world.
The oh baby oh microphone world.
When that brings up an interesting question. Nowadays, where we have this high tech, high quality microphone and audio tech, do people who call into the 1-900 number still have to listen to?
Yeah, I'm totally right where you want me. Whatever you want, I'm right here. My name is Ginger Love, and I'm here to talk to you about stuff that's sexy.
Or does it
when
sound
you
crisp and
call
clear?
credit card companies, you basically get that sans the, like, happy pants time.
Happy pants time. That's my new favorite thing that you've ever said.
Happy pants time.
Happy
Yay!
pants time.
Episode 421, happy pastime. Someone write that shiz down.
Because
Jacob, you're responsible.
When I call into conference calls and stuff, like everybody sounds like garbage when they're on a telephone. But if you call in like via Skype, even though you're calling a landline number, everybody's like, wow, you sound quite amazing on the telephone. And it's like, well, yeah, because I'm like on digital magic over here, even it's analog to digital, but never mind that confusing stuff. I just kind of wonder, is have they improved upon the technology?
That's a very interesting question, considering like how far we've come with technology. I called a realty company 2 days ago, and she had such an issue hearing me. She's like, "Are you on a cell phone?" I'm like, "Who owns a landline?
Yeah,
like,
who has a landline?"
Yeah, I'm on a cell phone, but I've literally never had an issue. And I'm like, it's got to be on your end. But she was obviously on a landline, so I'm just like, how is this messing up? It's your fault. My fault.
Have you ever called somebody that's like in a really high bandwidth, high tech area and got like the most crystal clear cell phone call you've ever heard in your life? Like it sounds like the person's next to you. Have you ever heard that? Because it's happened. I called my mom once and it sounded like she was next to me. I was like, dang. And I even told her, I was like, this is incredible. I holding my thumb and finger to my face like a telephone, even though telephones don't look like this anymore.
Well, that's because I love the people that stick their phone on speakerphone. They're like, so I want the pepperoni on top of the pizza, but underneath the cheese.
the proper way to make a pepperoni pizza, according to a lot of people.
And then they do this. So it's like, no, underneath the cheese.
Oh yeah, I've seen people just walking around like with their cell phone to their ear like 90 degrees, but they're on speakerphone, but they do this thing. It's the dumbest, and I'm just confused. I'm like, I can see who you're talking to, one thing, because your screen is live.
I don't understand that, or this, like this thing. They'll have it side. Oh my god, I can hear myself so much better without the cat ears on. Like they'll have it like this.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what? Like,
I don't understand like the people who are driving and they hold their cell phone in speakerphone mode.
Oh my god,
it's not improving your ability to drive and talk on a phone. You're not hands free just because you've turned on speakerphone. You're probably making it worse.
I used to like when I had the Jeep and I didn't come through my car, I would take my phone and like stick it here underneath my buckle. Like, what is this?
Oh, your seatbelt buckle. I thought you were about to say bra strap. I would just hang out
here on speakerphone. I'm like, doochka, and I would be such a badass.
Oh, that does sound pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we have the Bluetooth in the cars. And everybody's like, all driving with the Bluetooth. I've got those little ear pods. I got these little shenanigans.
Those are some sexy little things. I feel like every time I feel like they're spy technology, and like when I'm with Sam, we'll sneak up and we'll touch them and then we'll run away.
Because you're both children. No, these things are pretty amazing. Like it's really handy since I drive an old 2006 V-Dub that doesn't have Bluetooth, that I can put this in my ear and I'm like, haha, I'm in the future now. Take that, old car. Anyway, you want to do a factoid? We should do a factoid. Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt, which is where the word salary comes from. That doesn't make any sense. How does salary and salt desalinization?
It's like saline, right? Like
saline.
S-A-L, salary, saline, salt.
Why don't they just call it sal?
I'm sure that Uri has something to, I don't know, etymology of salary.
I'm not breaking the law. The chat's giving me a hard time because they think I put both of these in my ears while I'm driving. I only use one. It's no different than a Bluetooth headset.
Yeah.
I don't use both. I'm lawfully good. I know what I'm doing.
So the Latin for salt is sal. That goes to salarium. That goes to salary. That goes to salary.
I'd like to eat at a solarium.
French. It's really cool. I'm just going to highlight all this, and then I'm going to put it in the chat because nobody knows how to use Google.
I'm going to eat at a solarium one day. We should open a restaurant called a solarium.
And then just overly salt everything.
And then just have little salt blocks around for people to go lick like deer. We're almost there. Like I feel like that would almost be successful in the right area.
gosh, I love Yoshi. He's just so cute, squishy. He's got the little tongue.
You have caused me problems by letting me play Mario Odyssey at your house the other day because I picked it back up, and that is how I spend my evenings now.
Yay!
With my Switch in my hands. Dude, I am so good at the butt jump spin sauce death bomb thing. Like, I have gotten so good at it. I beat the Lost Kingdom where everything's all and there's that big mountain.
Yes, and the caterpillar thing.
Yes, I beat the turtles to the peak.
Koopas.
I beat the Koopa turtles to the peak. I did it in 30 seconds. Thanks to
because you did the cappy throw?
Yeah, and the butt scoot jump dive. Yeah. Like you jump, you butt stomp, you jump, you throw your hat, you spin, and then you dive onto the hat, and then you bounce off the hat.
So did you watch the video to figure that out? Because we sure as hell did.
Oh, no, I didn't watch the video. I learned how to do the butt scoot jump hat thing. I'd learned that from a video, but then I just look at the world differently. I'm like, oh, I can't get there. Oh, wait.
Happy throw is a legit game changer. Like, that's how you have to beat the gold Koopa in all the free running.
Oh, you have to butt scoot jump dive.
To cappy throw.
You have to cap throw butt jump. It's great.
I love that we went from Sleepy Time Shines to butt scoot death rabbit rape hole.
Oh yeah, the rape hole ball drive. That's important too. You've got to roll. You've got to roll. You've got to jump. You got to dump butts. I do the long jump thing to get speed. I get the long jump.
So I can long jump all day long, and Jacob will just ground pound. Like, he cannot long jump, but I can't do the cappy throw. I cannot friggin' do it.
Oh, it's just you gotta, like, last night I forgot how to do it for about 5 minutes. I had just done it, and then my brain just got all confused, and I was like, wait, how do I do it?
It's like a long jump.
It's a butt, it's a ground pound jump, cappy throw, ground pound again, let go of Y, and then hold Y down again, so you dive, but you didn't let go of Y long enough for Cappy to come back. So he stays in the air, spinning, and then when you dive, you land on him, and then you pole vault a little bit further. You can throw Cappy again and do ground pound dive again, but you can only bounce off Cappy once. So after you bounced off them the first time, the second time is just for distance.
Right. Yeah, because you can do two cappy throws, but the second time he puts you into a dive that you can't recover from.
Yeah. And for those who are listening on audio and have no idea what we're talking about, we are speaking English. We're going to return to speaking more clear English.
On Trabog, I think the butt jump dive is replacing the high jump in the next Olympics.
Dude, I would pay money to watch somebody try to butt scoop jump dive.
Yay!
Dip, duck, dive, and dodge, or whatever. Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
That movie was so... Like, there was that whole season of just awfully... like weirdly comedic movies,
nonsense movies that shouldn't exist, but someone just felt like they needed to give Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller money.
Yes, oh my God, Vince Vaughn was and like I think the writers were like, hire him and he can ad lib everything and make us a movie.
And he just brings his friends, so he's like Owen Wilson comes, Luke Wilson comes, Ben Stiller is there. Like it's like. It's like there's a really good documentary where Kevin Smith discusses his second attempt at making. So he made Clerks, and then he went to pitch Mallrats, and he was talking about who he wanted to be in it, and the studios were telling him, no, we're looking at these high profile actors. And he's like, but Jay, these people I made Clerks with, and they're like, Kevin, you can't just make movies with your friends. And he was like, well, that's how I made the first one. I just want to do that again.
Mallrats. I don't know why, but I just thought it was.
Oh, I loved it. I love
it. I think that's my favorite one. I think that's everybody's least favorite one, but that's my favorite one. Subject, thank you.
Thank you for the bit sub. You are the best. No, it was great. It definitely had legs on video more than the theater. I just don't think anybody knew who he was. But like as soon as I saw that movie, I was like, this is amazing.
I liked it. There was so much I feel like it was just real conversations that people were having and like real relationships that people were having, and I'm like, I can relate to all.
Yeah, the cookie stand is not part of the food court; is an autonomous unit for mid-mall snacking.
The pretzel thing was so gross.
Oh, yeah.
Oh Lord!
I feel like Jason Lee is probably being followed around with chocolate pretzel people for the rest of his days. Well, I was going to do a world news section, but we are so close to the time I insisted to Meg that we would call her.
Yay!
That we should probably call Meg and hopefully she's around and ready for the call, and we'll see how it goes. I've never done a remote call before, so let's figure out what timestamp this
You're
is.
like far, please help.
So when disaster strikes, I know where to start editing. All right, let's do this.
Nobody's nervous. We're all professionals here.
Hold on, I got this. I got to hide you real quick. I got to hide the smash because I don't want everybody to know what her email address is. Hey, let's invite her to the call. Badoop.
I'm like excited to hear what she sounds like. Is that weird?
Yeah, that's weird.
You're weird.
But it's okay. We're all fine here. We're all fine now. It said to send an invite, but I don't really know how that works. So we're about to find out. It doesn't. It's not like ringing or anything.
This is the first time we've used Discord like this. We normally do Skype, but Skype sucks.
This is Google Hangouts. That's what we're doing.
Oh, I thought we were doing Discord. Okay, I'm wrong.
No, this is when Jacob sits down to turn your setup on, we hook up with Hangouts.
Hey, I did the setup. I just forgot to do the hangouts, and Jacob was like, "I want to do the thing," because he likes to do the subject. I really do want to know weird things about people. I have a friend from Germany that I have known since 1998, and I still do not know his middle name because he refuses to tell me, and it has driven me mad over the last 20 effing years because I know his first name, I know his last name, I know where he lives, I know his parents' names, I know everything there is to know about him except his middle freaking name. I know it starts with an H. That's all I've got in the last 20 years. It's really frustrating. Actually, I think that was something I asked people upon first meeting them, what's your middle name? Because it's given me such a complex that I didn't know his middle name. Subject, what's your middle name? I don't even know your first name. Oh my gosh. I'm really hyper.
Oh, you're good. We're almost there. I got Meg's attention. And from here we will see if she can join the call. I don't know. Did she join the call?
Is there a Meg?
Meg!
Hi.
Meg joined the call!
Yay!
Meg did it. Hold on, I'm supposed
exciting.
to introduce you with something. We're totally.
Oh, my dog's barking now.
Oh, we love you, doggy.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I'll show him so he can see.
Oh.
See, it's okay.
Your
Hey,
hair
dog.
is awesome.
Oh,
Yay.
thank you.
You're the best. Okay, hold on. I got this. We are going to introduce you like we're supposed to now. All right, here we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Meg Halfdahl to the show. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She is the author of Her Dark Inheritance, a new book available to you to purchase right now on Amazon. Not only that, Meg has had short stories included in the Inklings Publishing called Twisted Reveries, 2 volumes of that you need to check out. I wrote all this down and then I just pooped my pants with it. But she is ready to scare you to death with some excellent fiction. Welcome to the show, Meg. Feel free to correct all the facts that I just threw out about you that I pulled out of a document.
No, that was pretty good. Oh, my friend's here to take my dog.
Oh, it feels so much better when somebody else has children running in.
Can you see me?
We can. You are live on the air.
Okay,
You are
good,
here.
Good. Sorry about my ferocious attack, Jack Russell Terrier.
Oh no, you're
That's
you're great.
amazing.
All those facts were, that was great. That was a great intro. I couldn't have asked for a better intro.
Sweet. We try to make you feel special.
I feel like we should have shown in there something about her awesome hair color.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like that was important too.
It's yes.
Meg, thank you so much for joining us on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. This has been a long time coming. We tried to get you a while back. Kelly introduced you to us, and we're super happy for that. I'm assuming that she is your amazing editing wizard.
She
well.
is. I couldn't do what I do without her. She makes me look talented, which I mean it's just like she is the person who sort of metaphorically puts the makeup on my writing. So I couldn't do it without her. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Is she in the chat? Does she get to
She
hear
is
anything?
not. She's at a Boy Scout event or something, so she was unable to attend.
Oh darn.
But Zapho's here. That's her husband.
Subject will clip it for her.
Yeah, Subject will get it, and she'll hear it on the podcast. So thank you, Kelly, for the introduction to Meg. Meg, one thing we need to know is the Meg Halfdahl story. The origin from British Columbia and Minnesota. I think
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, so I mean, Minnesota accent and Canadian accent. So there was never any hope there. But
That's amazing.
yes, was born in Canada. I grew up in Canada, and then I moved to the States, as we call it, when I was 12, and to Minnesota, and I haven't left. So I guess I like it.
Nice. That's amazing. So you've got all you were bred with all the friendliness of a Canadian.
That's right.
And then you still decided to live in the polar apocalypse that is the state of Minnesota.
That's right. I mean, there's no better way to describe it than that. Yeah.
Polar
exactly.
apocalypse.
It's the devil. I mean, the good thing is that you didn't go any further south and wind up in the hell that is Ohio or Iowa. So
Yeah, at least I'm not
geography.
there. You know.
yeah, you could be in the cornfield of America. Which
That's
is great.
right.
We have at least one other listener that's been on the show a few times that lives in Minnesota, and he has a special kind of hatred for the state of Iowa. So I don't know if it's shared.
Yeah.
But
I don't really. I mean, I don't feel strongly either way. But I have met quite a few Minnesotans that really hate Iowa or Wisconsin. It seems like.
Yeah.
So there's that rivalry too, of course. So
hating on the cheese. You've been to Minnesota, right, Smash?
Yes, we went to. Jacob has family there, so we went there in November, but it had not started snowing yet. So,
wow, what a treat!
yes, it was Minneapolis, so we got to walk around. It was fantastic, but it's under the snow for 6 months out of the year, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, this is the time of the year I'm starting to get really. We just had a snowstorm like yesterday, so I'm over it. I'm over it.
You know who else is from Minnesota? Mary Tyler Moore on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Right. There's like a statue in Minneapolis of her like flipping her hat in the air.
That's amazing.
Is that really? How did I not see that?
Can we
I don't
go
think
to
I would have known what it was.
I want to go to Minneapolis just for that because that's the kind of nerd I am.
If they would move Minneapolis to somewhere that didn't snow like 18 feet for 8 months out of the year, I would live there because it was fantastic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, since we didn't want to interview you simply because you're a resident of Minnesota. That was one of the things that was key to wanting to talk about writing, man. Like you are an author, you are published,
I am.
and you are. See, listen. I'm gonna ask some stupid questions in this interview. Some really bad questions like, do you enjoy writing? Which is one that I like to throw out. No, so how did you get into writing to begin with? Like, were you always creative as a kid and it just fell into your lap, or was it a lifelong struggle of toil under a cardboard box in an alley where you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give anybody the impression that it was easy, but I read a lot as a kid, and I think that that's more important than anything. I was that kid. I mean, this was before iPads. So we had books. Remember those days?
Oh yeah, paper.
And paper. And so I just read a lot, and then that sort of spawned this sort of idea in my head that I could create stories. And I was always sort of interested in all forms of storytelling. I loved TV and movies and books. And I saw writing as really an opportunity to sort of create worlds and live in sort of a fantasy world. And also my dad was a writer, and he had some short stories published and things like that.
That's
and,
awesome.
I wanted to be like my dad, and I wanted to make him proud of me. So, just like everybody, I think. So it really just sort of was born out of loving books and reading.
Oh, that's awesome. That is a really cool way to put it. You get the opportunity to create your own magic with your own stories, and then hopefully someone gets to read them and get that same kind of joy.
That's the hope.
Yeah. So you happen to do that. You win. You've won the lottery of life.
Won.
You got it. Yeah, you got a book published, and you got short stories. And I want to know more about this screenplay because I saw that you got nominated or you won an award.
Yes, I was nominated. It was from the Women in Horror Film Festival. It was a screenplay adaptation of one of my short stories called Guts.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's about, it was really exciting to go. I went, and it was a neat experience. And I screenplay writing is sort of new to me, but it was something that I'm interested in, and especially adapting my own things. And so Guts is really actually a story about, I love stories when strangers are sort of trapped together and they have to work together. So it's a story about strangers trapped in a hospital ward. So it was really fun.
I would like to get my hands on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just down with it because I saw the word guts, and I was like,
Yes.
I'm interested already, because all I could think of was the 1990s Nickelodeon show about the kid athletes. And I was like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You could make a really creepy parody story about a bunch of kid athletes.
I wish I could tell it was fanfic for that show, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's where they actually have to do stuff to save their own guts,
Right? Yeah,
like their guts are gonna.
Steven would pass out reading that. He can't do blood.
I can't do blood. No, no, I have issues. It's not so. Here's the thing. It's not,
inside the person though. Outside is fine.
Yeah, it's not like the blood in general. It's the circulatory system. It's like
Is that right?
I don't know what that means. Like, so if you see like
nobody does.
If you see like a vein and there's like if you like look over and there's like blood in your vein, or I don't get.
Like if there's this scene. The best way to describe it is the scene from Dawn of the Dead, the Zack Snyder remake, where the zombie girl comes in at the beginning and bites the dude's neck. And she pulls in that stuff.
Yes.
Jacob, Steven poops his pants. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing. That's the thing that makes me not feel good.
Oh, okay.
But like
he can't see veins in arms either. Like if you start pointing out like visible veins, people, like he starts squiggling out.
I can't do it. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned.
That's a first.
Yeah, so you've met a weirdo. Congratulations. So what appeals to you about writing horrors and thrillers versus
how did you get into horror? That's exciting.
That's a cool genre.
Well, I just was that little girl. Like, I just loved everything scary. I loved death, and I was goth at heart.
Yay.
I saw Beetlejuice, and I had never in my life like identified with a character so much when I saw Lydia in Beetlejuice, and I thought, oh my god, there's me, that's me. So really, it's funny because then kind of what happened is it sort of diverged because I got into literature and studying literature like in college, and I was like, okay, well, I want to write the great American novel, and it never occurred to me to put those two things together, my love for everything dark and spooky, and that, I could have that, and I could also write stories that were about complicated people and that, had to do with, heavy themes. And when I realized, sort of after college, when I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, I realized I could fuse those two things together, and I was like, I had never been more excited. It was like I had to accept the fact that I am a horror author, and that is what I do, but I can do that in sort of a literary way, so to speak.
That's kind of awesome that it wasn't like immediately obvious that's where you should go. You had to learn your way there. Like that convinced like, oh, I like this thing and I like to write things. Maybe I should write things like this thing. Head explosion and did the clouds part and you were like, holy crap.
Yeah,
I'm
they
writing
did. I had to accept that. I think I was always sort of fighting the goth girl inside, but I finally had to accept that's who
accept the goth.
Yeah.
You have to go deep. Be like, this is who I am as a person.
Steven was anti-goth in high school. Steven was the Dickie kid.
Oh no, I wasn't. You make it sound like I was a goth hater. I didn't.
Oh no. He was like the deadpan opposite of what a. Yeah, I painted his nails once when we were in school. That lasted like 30 seconds. After he went pee, he decided that he did not want painted nails anymore.
She painted my nails silver, Meg.
He liked it. He thought it was so cool till he went to the bathroom and he's like, nope, get it off.
I didn't. No. It didn't feel like my hand anymore. You know what I mean? Just felt wrong.
Yeah, there's no goth in your heart. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was a pop punk kid. Like I was like bright. Like my guitar didn't have minor chords. I was just
Steven, I love that. That needs to be your like tagline.
It was just all the brightest, happiest sounds you could ever make. And then I was like, I'm going to do a low E and it's going to sound grungy. And we did like, we would play our own versions of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and stuff.
I listened to that today.
I don't know if I would call that goth. That's not really goth, though. That's just weird radio rock that's trying to be really hard. That's what? It's true. So
anyway, I do have
a
question. Like, I feel like it takes a special type of person. Like, I hate to say that like anybody could sit down and write, but it like to finish it and get it edited and to move to the point where you get published, yada yada. I feel like that takes so much drive and like a special type of person. And like, how did you get to that point other than like, hey, I think I'm going to sit down and, I mean, was it serious from you, like for you from the get go, or was it, hey, I'm going to see what I can do, or I have this idea in my head that I can't get out, or like, how did that flow out of you?
Good question. Well, I sort of went through a phase in my life when I was in my 20s, and it was funny because I kept getting opportunities, based on just the fact that, I had interest in writing, and I think that, at base level, I had a little bit of talent. But in my 20s, I was absolutely terrified of everything and anything, of really moving forward in any sort of way. I think a lot of people, when you have an artistic sort of
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, you get imposter syndrome. And I would I've talked about it many times before about how, like, I would just take opportunities and just throw them in the trash. I would just be like, no, I can't do that. So it really wasn't until what happened was my 30th birthday was knocking on the door, and I had small children and I hadn't found traction in writing. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I think it took some maturity and some growing and just some adversity in life. And then I finally was like, okay, I'm willing to put the work that it takes into this, instead of sort of like, writing something and then deleting it or throwing it in the trash or getting rid of it. It was like, once I was sort of at that 30-year-old mark, it was like, okay, I know that I need to take this seriously if it's ever going to happen. So I think I need to grow up a little bit and sort of, because there is that side of it. There is the creative fun side, but there's also the work side. So I think I needed to sort of mature to get to that point. And then once I got to that point and opportunities came my way, I had learned to accept them and take them. And Stephen mentioned Kelly, who's been a wonderful resource to me. I know that I've matured enough now to listen to her advice and things like that. So I think it for me, some people are just that smart right out of the gate, but for me, I think I needed to sort of come around to it.
Yeah, I think it's just that from what I've seen about artistic people, they all have imposter syndrome, and it takes a lot. Like it's different parts of your brain. Like, how do you sit down and be disciplined while at the same time you're like, oh my god, fuzzy cat, fluffies everywhere,
right?
Like squirrels.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something like watching Ashley write a little bit too has kind of been awesome to see. Like her, I think in the last year I've seen Ashley like do the kind of a similar transition. Like, I love to write. Awesome. I've written 87 things in 10 years, and now this one is the one I'm going to work on. And like,
that's because Kelly pushed me into it, and she's wonderful, like you said.
Yeah, I'm so glad. She's the best with that.
You need another resource,
Yep. And I think, and this is advice that I give, I do some teaching sometimes, and the advice I give is that it takes a village, and that, there are people who they just want to take something they wrote, they don't want to edit it, and they just want to self-publish it and put it out. And, that's fine. But I know my novel is better because Kelly's eyes were on it, and because after all her red marks, I listened to her, and it took a village. It's my book and it's my ideas, and I don't listen to everything everyone says, but I don't think you can be successful in this world of publishing without knowing that you're going to have to listen to other people's opinions.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the head that this is my baby and no one can say
Yeah.
bad things about it. I'm
Yep,
the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, learning to take feedback is critical in like every career, especially one where you're having
Or
to
just as an adult.
expose your work. Yeah, or just as an adult in general. You know, it's important to figure out like you're not.
It's
right all the
hard
time.
though, like when you have certain personality types, like because you're either terrified, you're like, oh my god, they're gonna hate this, and you're just like biting your nails until you get something back, or you get it back and you're like, I like that word. I chose that word. That word is fine.
Yep.
Like, so how do you balance between, okay, I appreciate that, you know, my editor / Kelly said that maybe something else would work, but this is what I wanted to do. So this is like the avenue that I'm going to, like, how do you balance taking the criticism and taking that and then actually keeping your voice?
Yeah, I think that I think if you trust that person, that's really big. And like, for instance, I trust Kelly, so I know she's not trying to sort of steal my voice. But there were things that we definitely disagreed on, and there were points where they were important to me, and I dug my heels in. But it's all about balance. Balance is the word. Like, you know, sometimes it'd be like, okay, I'll give them that's true. That sentence could be better, but then that means if I do that, then I can keep this over here. So it's all just balance.
That's awesome.
I'll trade you this word for that
Right.
sentence.
It's like a card swap.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let me have one of them. Don't take them both from me. So tell us a little about Her Dark Inheritance, the book that you're actually is most recently published. It was March 17th, I think it came out. So you're all late in buying it. Every single one of you. You go to Amazon now and you click the purchase button.
No excuses.
Yeah.
So Her Dark Inheritance is my first novel. And it is obviously horror suspense. It is the story of Daphne, who her mother is dying at the beginning of the story, and Daphne's young, and her mother says, you know, there's something I never told you. This is actually the name that you know me by is not my real name. And when I was 16, I was accused of killing my whole family with an axe.
Holy
And then
Jesus.
she dies. And she leaves Daphne there. Yeah, so Daphne sort of had some bad things in her past, and she's a young college student, and she's sort of this sort of timid person, and she doesn't really know what to do with all this information. So she ends up going to the small little town, fictional little town in Minnesota called Willoughby, to investigate, to find out what happened, who really killed her family with an axe, and why do people think it's her mom, and could it be her mom? And she meets some interesting people along the way, and there's a supernatural element, and I'm really proud of it. I'm excited, and it's really the novel that I wanted to write, and
Yay.
So I'm excited it's out in the universe.
I'm super interested now. So I have to ask this because you did tell me that you were a Stephen King fan. Are you looking for Willoughby to be your dairy or your main? Is Minnesota your main in that?
Of course.
That's great. I can't wait for the megaverse to be the thing that
The megaverse. That's awesome.
Well, and actually, this is not the first time Willoughby has appeared in my work. Actually, my very first short story that was ever published was called Willoughby. And then my second book of short stories, every short story takes place in Willoughby. So I have been sort of building this mythology, which has been really fun. And I think part of it is because I came from this sort of background of growing up in Canada, and then I moved to Minnesota. And so I sort of felt like an outsider for a while. And so I think I viewed things through that scope. And so I think a lot of what I've sort of based a lot of this on is I'm kind of a big city girl, and I moved to a small town. So I've been fascinated with sort of rural Gothic. And of course, Stephen King is, the master of that, and Salem's Lot and Derry and all those things. So he's a huge inspiration to me.
That's fantastic. I was going to ask you too, like one of the things that I find interesting is it's something I believe he's talked about it in horrors and thrillers and books. You can't rely on jump scares like you can in a movie. So do you find it challenging to create that atmosphere of creepiness in your books, or does it have you kind of learned some tricks to help add to it?
Well, I mean, I've definitely learned some tricks, but I think for me, and I think a lot of people feel this way, is that it's the psychological elements that make books scary, because in movies it's really hard to sort of get into people's brains.
Yeah.
And in books, that's my favorite part, is really playing with the fear that people, that's almost unique to that person. Like Daphne, as you read the novel, you're going to be finding out things about her past and how they're sort of coloring her present. And it's fun in a book to be able to sort of have the scares and the creepy atmosphere, and not rely on jump scares and things like that. It's definitely more psychological, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I always think about like Stephen King's movies. There's always the dude with like the giant weird tumor on his face or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are like, why is there always this gross stuff? It's like, well, that's how he described it, because he needs to make you as unsettled as he can. So
Right.
Yeah.
he'll talk about their missing teeth for like a paragraph,
Exactly.
and you're like, ugh. You can just
Yeah.
picture, you could smell the person in your head, and you're like,
Yes.
I don't want to go there at all.
Never could get into Stephen King. Like, I didn't realize that he was one of your like what you drew through, because I've been enjoying yours and I don't enjoy Stephen King. Just
Thank you. That's a high compliment.
like I can maybe make it 5 pages into Stephen King and I'm like,
Yeah.
stop! Why are you famous?
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's love or hate with him.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of people in the middle on him.
That's very true. People either are like have their cult with him, or they're just like me and they're like, why?
And that's fine. One of our viewers, Var, wanted us to let you know that your illustrator is amazing. He's a huge fan of the maps in your book.
Oh yeah.
He just told me that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, I growing up, any book that had like a map in the beginning, I was like, I have to read this book.
What?
So
Yes!
I wanted maps in my books. Yeah.
All maps all the time. I'm gonna remember that. Like if I ever do write a novel, I'm just gonna draw a map, and I'll make like Meg Island over here, and it'll just be for you.
Yeah, name an island after me. And even if it's a bad book, if it's got a map in it, no one will notice.
Someone's gonna pick it up. I know I've got at least 2 people who will buy my book.
Definitely.
Awesome map. It'll be called The Map Book, and it'll just have one map in the beginning and then a ridiculous story about a squirrel.
Map in the front, right? Things happened very badly. Another map done.
It all hangs on that map.
Exactly. So when we pulled you on for the interview, we asked you what some of your big interests were. So the reason I asked you that was because we're going to play a trivia game.
Oh
Meg,
God, okay.
if you're ready. And this trivia has a little something to do with this. So, we're going to play some X-Files trivia. I have a few big questions for you. And they're going to be
Rain
really
glitter everywhere.
they're going to be really challenging. So let me hook up the good
okay.
stuff here.
I love this music.
This is what we're going to do.
This is that's stressing-inducing music.
Oh yeah, we're going to
I feel like Mario's skating on ice music.
we're going to stress you out. So, all right, question 1, Meg, are you ready? Are you prepared?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Gird your loins, because these are challenging.
Okay.
Dana Scully's character was inspired by what actress in what role?
That would be Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs.
Ding, ding, ding.
Nailed it. Nice.
Oh my gosh. All right, you are a pro. We got to step it up. Dana Scully originally had a boyfriend, but he was cut from the series. What was his name?
Oh. Fred, I don't know.
His name was Ethan Minette.
I didn't know that. Like I don't
didn't-
remember that at all.
I don't think I ever knew that.
I didn't know that either, but I never watched X-Files, so I don't count.
What?
Well, you're wrong.
I know, I'm wrong. I've accepted that
You
I'm
haven't seen the
wrong.
first Terminator either, so
No.
heart wrenched.
I'm wrong in a lot of ways. This is not for me. We're being tough on Meg here.
Okay.
The season 1 episode called Tombs was the first time this character spoke.
Cigarette smoking man.
The cigarette smoking man. Ding, ding, ding,
Nice.
ding, ding. Dang, that's pretty good. You've got like 45 points so far.
All right.
What did Scully's father die of in 1994?
Well, it was in the episode Beyond the Sea.
Oh,
He died of just a heart attack. I don't know.
Nice. Ashley, how many bonus points does she get for the the
I was gonna
episode?
say that was like some vast trivia knowledge right there, dude.
Yeah. How many points? What do you think?
That's like 30.
30 points. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I gonna win?
Oh, you're gonna win the joy of having bested at a
Oh.
Horseshoes and Hand Grenades quiz.
She's like, do I win something? Yes, points.
Yeah, real.
You can redeem them absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone,
Good to know.
they're great for you. What is Fox Mulder's middle name?
William.
No, you are wrong. You lose 18 points.
It's William.
It's Bradley.
No, it's not.
What, really?
I promise you.
Fox. I'm gonna Google it.
Here's just a little insight. My son's name is Fox after him.
Oh, that's the best name ever. I have a weird.
It is Williams.
It is Williams. Who? This quiz was a joke.
Yeah. It's
So
not
I
Brett.
stole these from the internet. It's not my fault.
Well, that
I was gonna say Steven doesn't know either way, so.
was yeah.
Dang, you gained like 60
Wait,
points.
what did you say it was? You said it was
Bradley.
Oh.
It's William.
I didn't drop an F-bomb. I never drop F-bombs.
Yeah, Steven doesn't curse.
I said the
homie.
fox word. What does the fox say? He says my middle name is William.
That's right.
Oh my god, that was
Bradley.
beautiful.
Bunch of savages. Okay, Ashley, how many points does she get for not only getting it right, but also owning
I
me
feel
in
like
the
you
process?
kind of have to give her 18 points back and then add another 18 because not only did she get it right, but she corrected you.
That sounds pretty great. That sounds
Yeah.
that sounds excellent. All right, here we go. Next question. What is
Okay.
Mulder's apartment number?
42.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. You got that right as well. That's
Yeah.
another X amount of points. All right, they're getting more challenging here. I don't know
Okay.
that for sure, but we're gonna see. Walter
All right.
Skinner is a veteran of what war?
Vietnam.
Oh my gosh. Again, with the answers. You should go on Jeopardy. This is ridiculous.
I know. If it was X-Files Jeopardy, I would.
All right, final question, because I like to have arbitrary
Which
amounts
is
of
worth
questions.
extra points.
Okay.
This one does have a bonus. How many brothers
Okay.
does Scully have?
2.
What are their names for bonus points?
Charles and let me think.
Do.
I don't know. Robert. No, Bill.
Bill is correct. I was about to say, if you missed the William in this one and you got the William in the other one,
Yeah.
I was going to be super pumped about it. I was going to be like, well, bam, I'm taking your 18 points.
No.
But no,
can't
you
take
got
the
it.
points.
Ashley, how many points by your tabulation did she just win by besting the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades?
2005, because that's a number I
Dang.
see on the mat that is under my mouse.
2005 points.
I'll
So
take
far, yeah, so far you are the
That's
record
worth
holder.
at least one Snicker bar.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be in the mail. If it's half
I'll
Tell you
wait.
a melted puddle of chocolate and
Yeah.
nuts.
if the package is open, don't worry. Ashley just gets hungry.
Okay. Good to know.
I'm not myself when I donate.
So you're currently the record holder in the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades quiz that has only been ran one time. So you can feel good in that. You can feel confident that you.
Yeah, we'll send her an LOD sticker.
Yeah, we'll send you a sticker. That's what we'll do. We'll.
Okay, I'll wait for it.
Yeah, I'll get
Waiting
your,
for it in the mailbox.
I will get your address. Don't tell everybody on the internet.
No, I won't say it now.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. What's your phone number, your email, and blood type? No, it's
Yeah. Social security number. Yeah.
She's like
Yes.
blood type. That's like when you walk into a school and you're like, I would like to attend here. They're like, I need your bra size, your blood
Yeah.
type, your.
I need to know what you intend to do for the next 75 years of your life.
Kelly's here.
Hey, Kelly.
Oh.
Well,
Meg just won all the points and like told Steven where to go with his inept
Yeah.
X-Files knowledge.
she
Yeah.
told me I could shove Fox Mulder right up my rear end. And I said, that doesn't sound like anything I want to do, but if that's what you're into,
You should watch the X-Files.
I should watch the
Might
X
change your
Files.
mind.
You're right. I need to go back and watch it. It's just that I have.
It has green glitter in it and exploding plant fungus. Like, how could you not watch that?
That would sell me.
I'm contagious to things that are in old school resolution of 480p. I can't. I have a hard time watching old television because the black bars on the side of my screen.
I understand.
It
I do
hurts
understand.
my brain. Ashley tries to get me to watch a DVD, and I'm like, no, No.
Oh my God, Jacob got a DVD of the Harry Potters, and like I was texting Steven, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm going cross-eyed. What is this crap? What have we done? Mistakes have been made.
But they were only
Send it back.
$10. That's
We
great.
sent it back.
Well, Meg, thank you so much
Yes.
for coming on the show and chatting
Yay!
with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. If
Mars in
people-
love with you, by the way, so you may have gotten a fresh stalker out of this.
Oh, woohoo!
Yeah, I don't know if you want this one. No, it's fine.
I'll take 'em.
So where can people find your work? Where can people find out more about you?
Okay, well, you can go to meghofdahl.com. You can find my books on Amazon. You can search Her Dark Inheritance or Meg Hofdahl. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and those are both at Meg Hofdahl. I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere. I will haunt your dreams. So
Oh my gosh.
you can't get rid of me.
You are amazing. That's fantastic. And you're very lucky to be able to get your last name and first name as your Twitter, and you don't have to
Yeah.
make up nonsense words like the rest of us.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we're so happy that you came on. Everybody needs to go out and search Amazon for Her Dark Inheritance.
Be
Purchase that
creeped
book.
out, courtesy of Meg.
Yeah,
That's
read it before you sleep and let it haunt your dreams.
That's right.
Thank you again, Meg. We'll have you
Thank
back on
you.
another time. Let us know when you
I
write
love
another
that.
book, and we will get
Yes,
you back on.
or just when you want to come on and prove Steven wrong.
Yeah, or just anytime.
Okay.
Say, hey, I'm
All
coming
right,
back.
sounds good.
And bringing
I'd
some
love
new
that.
trivia. Yeah.
Thank you, Meg. You rock.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, Meg.
Bye.
And I hung up on everybody because that's how the internet works. Here we go. Let's get Ashley back, everybody. Good. That is so loud. That is so loud. Somewhere around 50 minutes.
Supposed to
I've heard.
leave.
There we
I
go.
don't know what just happened. That was awesome.
Okay, I got you back. We're done. We're good. We're
Meg and I were both in the thing, and she's like, "How do I make this stop?" And I'm like, "Where's the beeping coming from?" And I was singing a song.
Why do people think I F-bombed?
I don't know, but I have to watch this now. I was gonna be super polite and not watch it while we have an awesome guest, but I'm watching this now.
I
So if
don't.
you can just hold, please.
I don't understand how I F-bombed. I don't.
Wait,
know.
hold on. I need
Did I must have just. I don't remember having. I don't remember. It's not a word that comes out of my mouth. So
But
I'm
you're
kinda
talking
shocked.
and I can't hear it. I was trying to hear it. Just
You
shush.
want me to shut up for a second? Oh, okay. It was a mumble of Fox. That's what it was. Thank you, W.C. Mitch.
I didn't even get to hear it because Steven would have stopped talking.
Well, that's because we're hosting a show.
It's fine. They understand. It is more important to see if you said the F-bomb than it is to entertain the people that are watching, Steven. Priorities.
I didn't F-bomb.
Steven's like, shut up.
I didn't F-bomb.
Steven didn't F-bomb. Steven has never
Take that.
You'll suck.
Steven didn't F-bomb. A train carrying 10 million pounds of human feces.
Gross.
Oh, gosh. This is going to be a longer show because I need this in my life. Carrying 10 million pounds of human feces is stranded in Alabama. Right now, dozens of train cars carrying 10 million pounds of poop are stranded in rural Alabama rail yard. Technically, it's bio-waste, but to the 982 residents in the small town of Parrish, that's just semantics. They want it gone. The load has been there for almost 2 months. That's what I know that feeling. And it's making the whole place smell like a rotting animal carcass. To add insult to injury, it isn't even their poop. For the last year, waste management facilities in New York and one in New Jersey, have been shipping tons of bio-waste, literally tons, to Big Sky Environmental, a private landfill in Adamsville, Alabama. But in January, the neighboring town of West Jefferson filed an injunction against Big Sky to keep the sludge from being stored in a nearby rail yard. It was successful. But as a result, the poo already in transit got moved to Parrish, where there are no zoning laws to prevent the waste from being stored. Parrish Mayor Heather Hall said she's doing everything in her power to get the feculent freight out of her town. Feculent freight.
That's such a fun word.
I like that.
Shoot. Meg, if you're still listening, feculent needs to be in your next installment.
I think just calling it feculent freight is
Just
a good
fit
title
it,
for
fit
a
it
story.
in there.
That's the word I need to get you to say next show.
Feculent.
It's so frustrating, Hall said. Last week, Hall met with Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, and she and other Montgomery lawmakers told Hall that they would help get it sorted out. Hall said the stench permeates everything. It greatly reduces the quality of life, Hall said. You can't sit on your porch, kids can't go outside and play, and God help us if it gets hot. And this material is still out there. When Hall spoke to CNN, the temperature in Paris reached 81 degrees. Ooh. Hot stink. There's nothing worse, man, than a big old hot turd on a hot day, just melting in the sun.
So they just dumped it in another area because there's no law saying that they can't?
That seems to be the case. Yeah, they have a law against
10
it.
million pounds of shit. Gross.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they've got to deal with.
Where would you where did they find did they dump it in a where? I have so many questions. Where though?
It's in a freight yard. I mean, what do you want? What more do you want? Every detail we need is here in the story.
But don't they need their train back?
No, that train, you only use that train once. It's got its fart junk butt gross in there, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
It's a private landfill. Who owns the landfill? Why would you want shitty poo-poo on your landfill?
Have you ever scraped horse crap out of a trailer? Nobody wants that job. They just rather let it sit there.
Had so much horse crap on every square inch of me. I didn't mind mucking anything out. I didn't like it coming out of their hooves. I thought that was the worst.
Oh, that is pretty gross when they step on their own poop.
Oh, and it's just it's been up in there for a week, and it's.
Horse poop isn't too bad because they eat mostly oats and grass.
Yeah,
it's not really
horse
that big
poop,
of a deal.
But it's when it's stuck in their hooves.
Do you know that's how I grew a watermelon with horse poop once? I fed a horse a watermelon with seeds in it, and they ate the whole darn thing because they're horses. And then came outside a week and a half later, and there were little watermelon plants growing out of there.
You were so excited about that.
Yeah, so I watered it, and sure enough, watermelons grew. It was amazing.
I love C. Mitch said Thomas the Stank Engine. Og said everybody knows Jersey poo is the worst. And apparently Griffin used to have horses or played around with horses because yes, it's the horse pee. It's the horse pee that mixes with the mud and the poop and gets stuck in their shoes. And when your nose is down, they're trying to dig that crap up.
That horse pee.
I bet that watermelon would have been awesome.
Oh, right out of the horse poop, just fertilized all to crap.
Here's some composted hay. Did you just say fertilize it all to crap and then laugh at your own joke?
Yeah, because I'm a dad.
Demon's a dad?
I'm a dad.
I made a dad joke while we were out at the restaurant today, and I'm like, oh, God.
I made a dad joke?
Yeah, the waitress, I don't even remember what it was, but you were just sitting there in your dad sweater with your dad orange wristband, and you made a dad joke and handed her something and waved and hee-heed. And I'm like,
oh, I did. Oh, she said, "Can I steal those minions from you?" I said, "Well,
yes!
you don't have to steal them. We'll give them to you
for free."
Then I chuckled. And
oh my God, it was so funny.
Was I embarrassing? Am I an embarrassing dad?
No, it was just. I'm like, he laughed at his own little joke.
No, if I'm an embarrassing dad, it means I've ascended.
It wasn't embarrassing. It was so funny.
I want to ascend to embarrassing dad, really bad.
You want to be? Oh, you're gonna have to work way harder than that.
I got to do something. I got to do something big. Small town news.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, it is. It's yours.
How do I not? Zombies! Oh, sorry. Zombies. Zombie-like raccoons standing on their hind legs are terrorizing a town in Ohio. Freaking Ohio. We could just hope that they terrorize the town and then leave it at that. Zombie-like raccoons have taken over an Ohio town. This isn't the inevitable reboot of Night of the Living Dead, though, or another Walking Dead spinoff. Instead, it's an eerie invasion that has authorities looking for answers. Call the detectives in Fishers, Indiana.
Fishers, Indiana. Throwback.
Yay. Police in Youngstown, Ohio have received calls about 14 raccoons behaving very strangely over the past 3 weeks, with some of the concerned residents making the zombie comparison. The raccoons were seen popping up onto their hind legs, baring their teeth, and then falling over in a comatose state. The animals were easy to scare off either and seemed to have lost their natural fear of humans, probably all rabid. If that wasn't odd enough, the majority of the sightings and calls happened in the daytime, probably all rabid. These people have never read a book or consulted Wikipedia or done any research ever. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources said it doesn't sound like rabies. Shit, should have kept reading, but rather a disease called distemper. Why am I like this? Why do I make these assumptions and not just keep reading? I do this every show.
I don't know. I like that you just make up the story as you go before you read.
It's rabies. It's fine. If the diagnosis is correct, distemper is not transmittable to humans, but can be spread to dogs who come into contact with zombie raccoons. Subject. Fill me in on this distemper stuff. Like, I'm curious now. Subject is the internet. According to American Veterinary Medical Association, I can't believe I said that without stuttering, distemper attacks the respiratory, gastrointestinal, and nervous systems of infected animals, and symptoms include head tilt, muscle twitches, seizures, and partial or complete paralysis. Again, if I would have just read one sentence ahead, I wouldn't have had to ask subject for what this was. Why am I like this?
I just like that this is going on. This is my favorite thing.
Like, I'm looking at this picture of this raccoon and I want to scratch his chin.
You don't want to get anywhere near that thing. This is like the rage zombie virus, you know, that we were talking about. You know, where the person gets bit and they're not dead, but they're alive, but they're crazy.
Because I love that it is described as head tilt.
Yeah, it's kind of like they do this. They kind of move their head like this, and they go, you know. They also look like that. Hey, that kind of explains like the Thriller music video, like the Thriller dance. That's very much. Maybe they watched these raccoons with distemper.
Sing the song.
It's a thriller. No, I can't sing this. I'm. Don't make me sing. Sam tells me to stop.
It's the one time I sang this. I was singing Jesus Loves Me because, like, that was when he wasn't sleeping and he was still like a little psycho baby. And he looks at me and he goes, "Stop, please."
Please stop.
F you too.
No, thank you. He's so polite when he wants you to quit doing stuff. No, thank you.
He'll go, "No, thank you." You dork. He doesn't say that, but he's
don't do that. We're going to skip straight to the WTF section. Are you ready?
Oh, wait, he said we had to do...
No, he said do anything but News Better Left Untold. The other three are gold.
Oh, okay. Oh, it rhymes.
Yeah, if you need to drop a story, drop News Better Left Untold.
Okay.
The other three are H&H gold. Wow, that is a rhyme.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I didn't read it that way.
Raccoon City! Griffin, that was amazing! High five! I love Resident Evil! Squee! Okay, please continue.
Oh, gosh, Resident Evil. WTF section! The condom snorting challenge is every parent's worst nightmare.
The shit. The way you read that is everything.
It says everything. And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm kidding.
You're like, we're done here.
We're done. Viral videos posted on social media show teenagers snorting condoms as part of a so-called condom snorting challenge. You know you can die if you inhale a balloon, right? Like, you can die if our kid. This is I hate everyone. I hate all of you that are snorting, that are taking spoonfuls of cinnamon, snorting balloons, huffing your own crap in a bottle, or whatever dork challenge you had, eating Tide Pods. You all are the stupidest generation that has ever come into existence. You are the dumbest lump of social misfits ever. And I hate you all, and I hope you're gone by the time my son is old enough to be in
like,
around
I hope
these people.
all of you die.
You know I'm being a little bit reacting. No, I'm not overreacting. I mean, you all are stupid. This is ridiculous. No, it's true. Var remembers a story where I knew a guy. He was not my friend who smoked couch foam. So clearly these are just a large group of idiots, but there are plenty of kids that have it together. You know, it's some of them. Like Sub. Sub has it together. Sub is one of the best mods in the world. in this
WC
chat.
Mitch, thank you for the subscription.
Oh, thank you for the Bezos bucks. WC Mitch, you are the best. In the videos, teens put an unwrapped condom up one of their nostrils and inhale until the condom comes out of their mouth. Like other viral challenges, the condom snoring challenge has been around for years, but recently reemerged on social media.
Who thought of all I would think about is like it getting trapped horizontally and blocking off my airways before it got
That's
through
what it
my
can do.
mouth.
That's why I don't let Sam put his mouth on balloons right now. Like, no. Because if that gets stuck, you can't, like, Heimlich maneuvers don't get that out of your throat because it expands and stuff. Like, it's not a solid thing. It's a stretchy thing. You don't want stretchy
Well, they're doing
things.
it with the wrappers, though.
No, it's unwrapped.
Is it?
Unwrapped. Yeah, it's just the
scheisse.
Yeah.
That's not good either.
It's kind of making me want to throw up a little bit.
Okay, I can see how that would be easier than a wrapped condom, like, because you could hold on to it and it would just go around the back of your. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying, like, I can see how it would be done, but you're still an effing moron. Don't do it.
And VAR, I said that sub is one of the best mods, which means there is room for you to also be a best mod. Don't cry. I love you too. I love all of our mods, all 87 of you. Now, all subs and the VARs and the McFlies and
VAR
all of you
wants
who
to
take care
know
of us.
if it's lubed or not.
It's
like,
probably
do you
gonna-
get special points if they're not.
It's going to kill you one way or the other. In San Antonio, Stephen Enriquez, who teaches drug and alcohol prevention to parents, has also started to teach parents about dangerous online trends like condom snorting challenge. I feel like these challenges are actually scarier than drugs at this point. Like, kids are either going to do drugs or they aren't, and they know they're bad and they know they can kill you. But these stupid things, these to me are more terrifying than any drug because it sounds like just a dumb gag you do. You know, it's like
Get it, gag.
it's like when your friends are like, I can eat this hot dog faster than you. It's like, that sounds pretty stable and okay to see if you can eat a hot dog faster. It's not. There's a kid who died because he choked on a hot dog because his brain was deprived of oxygen for 8 minutes. Brain dead. Done. Because he choked on a darn hot dog trying to beat his friend in a contest. Like, don't compete with people. How about that? Remove competition from your life. It's worked for me. I don't care if you get to the finish line faster than me. What? Okay, you get to tell people you beat me in a race. I get to tell people
there
I
won't
was
be
like,
any
oh.
Olympians from this generation that listens to Horseshoes and hand grenades because Steven told them competition's the devil.
I don't believe in Olympics.
I don't believe in competition.
I don't believe in competition. I think it just stresses people out. I think you just need to chill and just do your thing. And that's why our show has 15 listeners. You know, like, why do we need 300? I don't care. I like you guys.
You're like, you guys are my
You
level.
guys are my people. I like you. Because these days our teens are doing everything for likes, views, and subscribers. Enriquez told the TV station, as graphic as it is, we have to show parents because teens are going online looking for challenges and recreating them. While teens may think the condom snorting challenge goes without consequences, it can be dangerous. Bruce Lee, a Forbes contributor and associate professor of international health at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, said in a recent column. Bruce Lee is now doing science. That's amazing. Lee writes that the exception of doctor-prescribed nasal sprays, anything else that goes up your nose can damage the sensitive inner lining of your nose, cause an allergic reaction, or result in an infection. He notes that the condom could get stuck in the nasal cavity or the throat and cause someone to choke. This just in, solid objects in your windpipe can choke you. More at 11. Like, what?
Dun, dun,
really?
dun.
Like, is this, we need to teach people? Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This is frustrating. I hate everything about this story, and I'm so done with kids and their dumb challenges. Like,
I love how obsessed Steven gets.
I even, like, to be fair, I was even ticked off about the ice bucket challenge because that people broke their neck trying to dump enormous loads of ice on their head and stuff, and it was bad. And it was people were like, it brought so much attention to. Hey, did you see the girl who had a whole horse bucket trough dropped on her head? They were
Like, on purpose?
Yes, okay, so girls standing below a very high porch. They take one of those, you know, those big buckets you have in the horse stall with the thick ropes so you can carry heavy stuff around. Filled this whole darn thing with bags of ice and water and tried to, like, lean it over and dump it off the porch. Drop the whole darn thing on her head.
Oh.
Like, This is why, like, okay, it brought attention to ALS, which is a disease near and dear to me. I have family members suffering from this, but they took it and they were like, Ice Bucket Challenge is a great idea, and people took it to the extreme, were hurting themselves. Where then you got the genius of Patrick Stewart, who's sitting in a hotel going, Patrick Stewart does the Ice Bucket Challenge. He takes a piece of ice out of a bucket, puts it in a glass, fills it with scotch, and writes a check. Like...
Yes, I love that man.
Like, you don't have to dumping ice on your head didn't solve anything. The donations you make to
it's
ALS research actually does something. Bringing attention to something is good. Bringing attention to something and then performing an action is better. So yelling into the ether that you should donate or you should do an ice bucket challenge is great, but you should also follow it up with some like real action.
Yeah.
Guns are bad. Well, march, walk somewhere. I'm so proud of these high school kids and their desire to actually, I don't know, spend some time yelling at a place where the people are. Martin Luther King didn't sit on Twitter and go, I would like to change. I'm about to write you a Twitter chain about civil disobedience.
Oh, I don't miss Twitter.
He went, hey, how about I grab a whole bunch of people and we all walk down Washington and make a scene.
I love Subject. Subject just calls you out for everything.
I hate everything. I mean,
So you've been called out for not liking competition, but loving trivia. And then Sub just called you out for... Well, Steven goes from hating teens to loving them.
I love those teenagers. I mean, they need
Steven
some love.
loves people that aren't idiots.
I
think that can be a just summary.
Steven hates idiots. That's my new thing.
Steven hates everything.
I really love that Sub kind of makes me look like I do hate everything.
I know, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, and it does, like Kelly talking about. The civil rights movement took years to build it. You can't just do it and then stop. You have to do it and then do it again and again and again.
It's like sex!
Yeah, to get better, and get more attention. It's like what Gandhi said. Gandhi said, first they laugh at you. No, he said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. You have to keep going until people can't fight you they can't ignore you anymore,
See, so being annoying is a good quality to have. So everybody that makes fun of me for being a brat and annoying.
Yeah.
And I think I was called a jerk today, too. And then I laughed and I was told that it wasn't good to be a jerk. Those are good qualities.
Good qualities to have. This has been a great show. I've enjoyed ranting. I enjoyed having Meg Hofdahl on the show, who I now know how to pronounce her name.
Thank you, Kelly, for putting us in touch.
Thank you very much. That was really fun. That was a good time. I would love to have her back on the show.
I much like her. She's fantastic.
Yeah, she was great. We can have her back on for some other shenanigans.
What we should do is have Meg and Kelly and have some sort of nothing to do with either of the books that either one of them have written, but just some sort of competition where they need to know things about things.
I hate competition.
I know, but that's why it would be awesome.
No, that'd be perfect. So yeah, and she's got 2005 points. I mean, she's the reigning champ of H&H trivia.
I don't think she can bank those points coming into a separate competition against somebody, though.
Oh no. Kelly could that would be a one-off, whoever wins.
Yes.
That would be a one-off, and then
And Kelly has another author for us. There's a book that comes out in May. Cha-ching.
Picture this way. We'll definitely talk. We'll chit-chat.
This way.
Hey, man, if you enjoyed this show and you like us, give us a review on your favorite podcasting service. 5 stars because we're awesome. You can also follow the channel on Twitter at Two Dorks TV. You can tip us if you have some extra bucks laying around and you just don't know what to do with them. You can go to twodorks.net/tip and hand that money our way. That would be great. Man, money is good. Money is good. Money purchased the new D&D module that we'll be doing on Tuesday with the crew and everybody.
And this squishy, wonderful thing.
Yeah,
so I don't.
This thing. We've had some really good. It's been very helpful. Paid for the website again.
Yay!
Super fun. So we love you guys. Thank everybody for coming out and joining with us. It's been wonderful. We're gonna leave you with these words from Isaac Dennison. Is that how you pronounce that guy's name?
I don't know. I've never heard of him before, but I thought his quote was quite nice, so I put it there.
It is quite nice indeed. The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. Oh.
That's not beautiful.
Oh, that is amazing. The love of money is the root of all evil, W.C. Mitch, not money itself. See, that's how you get around it. That's how you justify a little bit of extra cash. It's the love of money, not money.
We love money that goes back into the show so we don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, it actually helps a lot. Man, that's a good quote. I want to get that like tattooed on my back or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but all in some kind of weird Cyrillic language.
Yeah, Hyrule. Some Hyrule stuff.
Oh my god, I really have to pee.
All right. Thank you guys for showing up, hanging out. Thank you, Meg Halfdoll. Y'all have a wonderful week. We will see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, or Tuesday as we play D&D. See you guys later. Bye. Oh, I got it before you got in there.
Nabbit, son of a whiskey eater.
I did it. All right, now I got to find out. Hold on, I got to find the part where we actually started a show. Let's see.
Can I get a what?
No, you can't get a what. This is
Somebody suggested I sit in a potty chair. That would be awesome. Just wear like an adult diaper. Nobody would know. I have pajama pants on under my shirt.
That's you know what? That means you can go to bed earlier.
Yes! You still counts. Got laid. Can I get a what?
No, you can't get a what. This is Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 4.
Ruffle.
It's really loud there for a second. It's okay. It all turns out well in the end.
Is that me?
No,
Was I loud?
No, there was a lot of. It got pretty. I think I'm gonna send this through the levelator this time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because so when Meg called, she was a little quiet and you were a little loud, and there was nothing I could do on my end because you're coming from the same source.
Yeah.
So it's like the same audio, so I can't make it not loud.
You could have told me to like not yell.
Well, I didn't want to, I jacked up the interview that much at the beginning, so I didn't want to mess you up.
I thought the interview was fantastic.
No, the interview was great. I had the notes on what to say when she came on, and I didn't read them. So that made it less exciting.